King Charles III is pressing ahead with a high-profile four-day state visit to the United States from April 27 to 30, 2026, including a rare address to a joint session of Congress despite growing domestic criticism and a deepening diplomatic rift between the UK government and President Donald Trump over the ongoing war with Iran. Buckingham Palace confirmed the trip on March 31st, describing it as a celebration of the historic connections and modern bilateral relationship between the UK and the US, timed to mark the 250th anniversary of American independence. President Trump personally announced the dates on Truth Social, calling it a historic state visit and promising a beautiful banquet dinner at the White House on the evening of April 28th. The centerpiece of the visit will be King Charles addressing a joint meeting of Congress on April 28th, the first time a British monarch has done so since Queen Elizabeth II in 1991. The speech is expected to focus on shared values, the special relationship, and the enduring alliance between the two nations. The backlash at home, the decision to proceed, has triggered sharp criticism from some British politicians and commentators, who argue the timing is deeply unfortunate. The UK government under Prime Minister Keir Starmer has refused to allow the US to use British military bases for offensive operations against Iran, drawing repeated public attacks from President Trump. Trump has accused Starmer of weakness and has even suggested that King Charles himself would have taken a very different stand on the conflict. Opposition figures, including Liberal Democrat leader Ed Davey, have called for the visit to be cancelled, describing it as a potential humiliation for the king and a diplomatic gift to Trump at a sensitive moment. Some MPs have warned that Charles risks being placed in an awkward position, forced to smile through a state dinner and congressional address while the US president continues to criticize the British government. Public opinion in the UK appears divided, with polls showing significant opposition to deeper British involvement in the Iran conflict and growing unease about the optics of a royal visit amid transatlantic tensions. The royal balancing act for King Charles, the visit represents a classic royal duty, diplomacy above politics. As head of state, he is expected to rise above party politics and government disagreements to strengthen long-term relationships between nations. Buckingham Palace has emphasized that the trip was planned long ago and is being undertaken on the advice of His Majesty's government. The itinerary is expected to include Washington, D.C., a possible stop in New York, and a focus on cultural and historical ties. The king will also travel onward to Bermuda for a separate royal visit. Sources close to the palace insist the visit is about celebrating the 250th anniversary of American independence and reinforcing the enduring special relationship, not about taking sides in current political disputes. President Trump, for his part, has spoken warmly of the king, describing him as a great gentleman and a friend of mine while continuing to criticize Starmer. Trump has made it clear he is looking forward to hosting the royal couple. What this means for the monarchy, the controversy highlights the delicate position Charles often finds himself in, expected to perform ceremonial and diplomatic roles while his government pursues its own foreign policy. It also underscores the challenges facing the monarchy as global events and domestic politics intersect. With Charles still undergoing cancer treatment, the trip will test his stamina, but palace officials say he is determined to fulfill this important engagement. Prince William and other senior royals are expected to cover domestic duties during the king's absence, continuing the pattern of the heir stepping up as the monarch's health requires. As the visit approaches, the debate in Britain is likely to intensify. Should the king proceed with a symbolically important but politically awkward trip, or should diplomacy take a backseat amid the Iran tensions and Trump's public criticisms of the UK? The coming weeks will show whether the state visit strengthens the transatlantic bond or becomes another flashpoint in an already strained relationship. What do you think? Is King Charles right to proceed with the US state visit and Congress address despite the Iran tensions and Trump-Starmer rift, or should the trip have been postponed or canceled to avoid awkward optics? Does this highlight the difficult balancing act the monarchy faces in modern diplomacy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If this in-depth breakdown of the confirmed visit, the growing backlash, and the complex diplomatic backdrop surprised or interested you, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Next, we'll examine the full expected itinerary and what King Charles might say in his historic address to Congress. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.